This is Jed Distler, and I welcome you to The Piano Maven, your friendly podcast guide to piano recordings. I'm so happy you are here with me for this episode, because the holiday season is just around the corner, and I'm sure you want to know just what are the essential holiday piano releases that belong in every collection. I can think of, several that I like, and I'm always very happy to put them on to get into the holiday spirit. On the Steinway and Sons label, let's start with a Steinway Christmas album. It features pianist Jeffrey Beagle, who has been a former guest on my radio show, Between the Keys. This disc contains 7 original works and 14 arrangements featuring 9 different arrangers. And among the original works that are Christmas-themed on this disc include December from Tchaikovsky's The Seasons, The Christmas Tree by Rebikov, and Chanteur by Lyapunov. And we have Jeffrey Beagle's own sensitive arrangements of Auld Lang Syne and David Foster's song called My Grown-Up Christmas. One of my very favorite tracks on this disc is Leroy Anderson's Sleigh Ride, and a brilliant piano arrangement by Andrew Gentile. But that isn't as fun as Andrew Gentile's arrangement of You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch, and no one plays this arrangement better than Merrill, who is also a friend and a former Between the Keys guest. And this is a highlight of her 2019 release that's called Christmas Memories. You still might be able to find a copy of this disc on CD Baby, but it's easily accessed on download and streaming platforms. Also, the second of Merrill's 2 holiday discs came out earlier in 2004 on the Venice label. It's called A Christmas Memory, and it largely features her own arrangements of songs like White Christmas, Joni Mitchell's River, Silent Night, Mel Torme's The Christmas Song, I'll Be Home for Christmas, and quite a few others. But also, she plays Bill Charlap's beautiful arrangement of Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. She plays Dick Hyman's arrangement of My Favorite Things, and Ted Rosenthal's arrangement of Greensleeves. Both of Merrill Guneman's Christmas albums belong in any serious piano holiday collection, and so does Stuart Goodyear's astonishing piano transcription of the entire Tchaikovsky Nutcracker ballet. Not just the suite or the greatest hits, mind you, but the whole ballet. It's kind of unbelievable, the whole kit and caboodle. That's also on the Steinway and Sons label. It's quite a tour de force, and the music making is so cultivated and it is so much in style that you forget what astonishing piano playing it is. Stuart, by the way, also is a former Between the Keys guest and a good friend. Also on Steinway, there is an album called Christmas at Steinway Hall, and this consists of Christmas favorites and really imaginative and tasteful jazz arrangements conceived by and played by Simon Mulligan. Probably the most famous and joyful solo jazz piano Christmas album is Christmas Ivory with the late, great Dave McKenna on the Concord Jazz label. I've loved this disc for decades. Dave McKenna was famous for creating a style where he punctuates walking bass lines with chords underneath right-hand lines, and this gives the illusion that 3 hands are at work. I would also place Tchaikovsky's complete piano cycle, The Seasons, among holiday piano releases. I don't know. For some reason, it seems like a good holiday fit. My personal favorite recording of the seasons is the one that Mikhail Pletnev recorded for Virgin Classics. At some point, I'll do a more detailed podcast about the seasons and its various recorded versions, but Pletnev's on Virgin Classics is my top pick. And I would be totally remiss if I did not plug my infamous release that first appeared in the year 2000, and it's popped up on many super budget labels. It's called Baby's First Christmas. There are several discs on the market that are called Baby's First Christmas. One of them is all of my selections. The other one, I think, uses some of them, but then other selections are taken from some other source that has nothing to do with me. But about Baby's First Christmas, I basically recorded Christmas songs on a little portable keyboard that had sounds that sort of resemble Christmas bells. I'm not quite sure how these sounds were set up. My producer, David Merrill, arranged the whole thing for me. And I recorded this disc on a little keyboard on a card table at David Merrill's apartment. And he was the producer and the person behind the project. And we basically knocked out the whole album in a couple of hours. And as usual for me, when I'm working with David Merrill, we have this little in-joke where I interpolate the theme from the TV show Mr. Ed in more than a few accompaniments. And I did this most memorably, I think, in Joy to the World, which is like da 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 dum bum 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 ba bum ba bum ba 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 bum ba bum ba bum. You see, I throw in Mr. Ed at the end of there. Also, I think I used Mr. Ed on Here We Come a Caroling. Ya da dum ba dum ba dum ba do 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 dum do dum. Here we come a caroling. A horse is a horse, of course, of course. What's interesting is that a couple of really notable classical pianists wrote to me when they found Baby's First Christmas selling for $2 at their local pharmacies, and they were surprised to see my name on the credits. But on the other hand, when I was first dating my wife, Mima, I gave her a copy of Baby's First Christmas, and she absolutely hated it, and she was very direct. She said, I can't listen to this. I can sort of understand that because the bell sounds from that little keyboard I was using are really pretty cheesy. And I think other people have found this disc to be kind of cringeworthy. But it's gotten more positive reviews on Amazon.com than from any of my more quote-unquote serious releases. Maybe I need to record another holiday album. I think maybe this time I'll do it on my toy piano. Anyway, I would not make Baby's First Christmas your holiday shopping priority, especially when you have such wonderful holiday piano discs by Jeffrey Beagle, Merrill Gaman, Simon Mulligan, Stuart Goodyear, and Dave McKenna. This is Jed Disler, and you've been listening to The Piano Maven, your friendly podcast guide to piano recordings. Happy holidays to you, and I look forward to being together with you for our next episode.